There is a hidden chemical reaction happening in your refrigerator right now, and it could be directly linked to the stiffness you feel in your joints each morning. In fact, a simple storage mistake, one we all make, might be contributing to that feeling of fatigue that just won't lift. For decades, we've been taught that the refrigerator is the safest place for our food, a trusted guardian of freshness. But science is now revealing a surprising truth. For certain popular, healthy foods, the cold is not a friend. It's a foe that silently strips them of their healing power, and in some cases, even turns them into triggers for inflammation. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and as a researcher who has spent years studying the connection between nutrition and long-term vitality, I'm here to guide you through this. We're going to open the door to your refrigerator together and discover the simple changes that can have a profound impact on how you feel every single day. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Tell me in the comments below. It brings me so much joy to see this wonderful community of strong, curious women coming together from all corners of the world. And if you believe in the power of small changes to create a healthier life, I invite you to subscribe and join our family. So, how is it possible that something as simple as cold temperature can turn a good food bad? It all comes down to something I call the cold shock effect. Imagine that the vibrant, health-giving compounds in your fruits and vegetables, the antioxidants, are like tiny, dedicated bodyguards for your cells. Their job is to protect you from damage and keep you feeling youthful and energetic. But many of these plants originally grew in warm, sunny climates. When we put them in the harsh, artificial cold of a refrigerator, their natural life processes are violently interrupted. The cold damages their delicate cell walls, which not only stops the production of these antioxidant bodyguards, but actually begins to break down the ones that already exist. The very essence of their healing power simply vanishes. But it gets even more concerning. For another group of foods, particularly starchy ones, the cold triggers a panic response. To protect themselves, they begin converting their normal, friendly starches. Think of it this way. The cold forces these starches to lock themselves up into a tight, defensive ball. When this locked ball gets to our digestive system, it's like trying to open a door without the right key, leading to that bloating, gas, and digestive stress. More importantly, this digestive stress can contribute to a state of low-grade, chronic inflammation throughout the body, the very inflammation that we now know is linked to everything from aching joints to brain fog. This cold shock is a silent process, but it's happening to some of our most beloved kitchen staples. So let's start by rescuing the first group of foods that are losing their incredible healing powers right now in your crisper drawer. First on our list are tomatoes. A beautiful sun-ripened tomato is a powerhouse of an antioxidant called lycopene, which is a champion for heart health and protecting our skin. But the moment you put a tomato in the fridge, the cold temperature halts the ripening process dead in its tracks. It permanently stops the tomato from creating any more of that precious lycopene. At the same time, the cold damages the membranes inside the tomato, which is why a refrigerated tomato becomes mealy and tasteless. That lack of flavor is your first clue that its nutritional power has been compromised. The same is true for bell peppers. We love them for their sweetness and their incredible vitamin C content. But the cold makes their vibrant skin tough and leathery, and it rapidly degrades that delicate vitamin. You're left with a shadow of the vegetable it was meant to be. And let's not forget fresh herbs, especially delicate basil. If you've ever put a bunch of fresh basil in the fridge, you know what happens. Within a day, it turns brown, wilted, and sad. That visible decay is a sign that its volatile oils, the very compounds that give it its anti-inflammatory benefits and wonderful aroma, have been completely destroyed. The solution for all of these is wonderfully simple. Keep your tomatoes and peppers in a bowl on your counter. They will continue to ripen, deepen in flavor, and build their antioxidant strength. For basil, treat it like a bouquet of flowers. Trim the stems and place it in a small glass of water on your windowsill. So we've rescued our foods from losing their healing power. That's wonderful. But what about the ones that go a step further, that can actively create inflammatory compounds that may worsen our aches and pains? That's what we must uncover next. This is where we need to talk about two of the most common foods in any kitchen: potatoes and onions. Let's start with potatoes. When you store a potato below about 45 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 degrees Celsius, its starches begin that panic response we talked about, and they rapidly convert into sugars. This is why a refrigerated potato can sometimes have an oddly sweet taste and a gritty texture when you cook it. But here's something that might truly surprise you, something most food scientists know but the public rarely hears about. When you take that sugar-loaded potato and cook it at a high temperature, like when you roast, fry, or even air fry it, those sugars can react to form a compound called acrylamide. The National Cancer Institute has identified acrylamide as a substance that needs more research, but is a potential concern for our health. We can avoid this risk entirely just by storing our potatoes properly. And then we have onions. The refrigerator is a humid environment, which is the absolute enemy of a dry, paper-skinned onion. The moisture causes them to become soft, mushy, and encourages mold to grow. Beyond just spoiling faster, when you store a whole onion in the fridge, it absorbs all the odors around it. And if you have a cut onion in there, its potent beneficial compounds like the anti-inflammatory quercetin begin to oxidize and degrade almost immediately. The best way to store both of these is how our grandmothers did it: in a cool, dark, and dry place like a pantry or a cupboard. And a crucial tip: never store them together. Onions release ethylene gas, which will cause your potatoes to sprout much faster. Let's do a quick recap. On your counter, you'll want your tomatoes, peppers, and fresh basil. And in a cool, dark pantry, you'll keep your potatoes and onions. Getting just these 5 foods to their happy homes is a huge win for your health. But it's not just about what foods turn bad. It's also about the ones that lose all the joy and comfort they're supposed to bring us. There are 3 more staples that the cold turns from a delight into a disappointment, and you might be surprised what they are. Let's talk about 3 things that bring so much pleasure to our lives: honey, coffee, and a wonderful loaf of bread. Many people think that refrigerating honey will keep it fresh, but it does the exact opposite. Raw honey is a beautiful living food, full of natural enzymes and beneficial compounds. The cold temperature causes it to rapidly crystallize, turning that smooth liquid gold into a thick, gritty, and almost unusable block. You're not just changing the texture, you're effectively locking up all of its wonderful health benefits in those hard crystals. Honey is naturally one of the most shelf-stable foods on the planet. It will keep perfectly in your pantry for years. Next is coffee, whether it's whole beans or ground. Your refrigerator is the single worst place you can store it. Coffee grounds are dry and porous, and they will act like a sponge, absorbing every bit of moisture and every stray odor in your fridge. This condensation ruins the delicate, aromatic oils that give coffee its incredible flavor and, yes, its antioxidant properties. You end up with a brew that tastes stale, flat, and often a little bit like last night's leftovers. Keep your coffee in an airtight container in a cool, dark cupboard to preserve its soul. And finally, bread. It feels so intuitive to put bread in the fridge to stop it from going moldy, but what we're actually doing is making it go stale faster. The cold temperature accelerates a process called retrogradation, where the starch molecules recrystallize and force water out, making the bread hard, dry, and chewy. A bread box on the counter or even a simple paper bag is a far better way to maintain that soft, wonderful texture for a few days. It's amazing, isn't it? How these small shifts can bring so much flavor and so much health back into our kitchens. And that's really what this is all about, taking back control one simple, powerful choice at a time. I want you to think of your kitchen not as a place of confusing rules, but as your personal sanctuary of health and well-being. Looking at this information might feel overwhelming at first, but I promise you it is not about achieving perfection. It is about empowerment. It's about understanding the why behind these simple choices, so you can nourish your body with intention and with love. Every time you place a tomato in a fruit bowl instead of the crisper, or move your potatoes to the pantry, you are taking a conscious, powerful step. You are telling your body that you are on its side. You are choosing vitality over fatigue and comfort over stiffness. So here is my challenge to you today. Don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one thing. Maybe it's moving your coffee to the cupboard, or deciding to buy your bread fresh and enjoy it for a few days from a bread box. One small change to reclaim your kitchen as a true place of healing. Because these little adjustments add up, day by day, to a body that feels more energetic, more flexible, and more vibrant. If this conversation was helpful to you, please consider sharing it with a sister, a mother, or a friend who you think might benefit from this knowledge. And I would truly love to hear which one of these tips you are going to try first. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Our conversation is what makes this community so special. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I am sending you my very best wishes for your health and your happiness. I can't wait to see you in the next video.